So you might be wondering, why is it that we are seemingly so far down in here when last time we were barely up here? Yeah, I end up letting it play for a while, and unfortunately forgot to hit the record button. So, I figure I'd spare you guys. It was like quite a few turns of just not much going on. Mostly just exploring this map a little bit. Like we didn't get any new heroes showing up. It just kind of overall wasn't all that impressive. Of Our progress didn't really go anywhere. So I figure I'd just spare you guys that and kind of get reacquainted with the situation. So we have pressed forward. Essentially, I decided to send the warriors out to scout. They were taking too much of a beating, and okay, cool. Sign of time. This one's pretty good. Yeah, it ups the mana cost by 20%, but it's good on a high cost damage spell because that increased crit and lower casting time, especially towards end game. You care a little bit less about mana costs on things. So that's something we'll hold on to and possibly use. So I decided to let the warriors just kind of get rolled over, largely because I'm getting close to being able to train up Halberdiers. I'm still a few turns away, but I'm going to start really pushing for that. I think that we'll benefit pretty greatly from that. Otherwise, I'm actually going to back out of the Dramer world for now, on account of that curse. Basically got nailed by the curse because there was a gateway over here that we tried to open, and what that does is it basically gives you this on all of your units, which it's pretty nasty, and I don't really want to fight the Dramer when like my resistance to them is so low. So I'm going to actually back out. I might heal up this guy and do a little bit of kind of a just a run forward, like over to here, see if we can find more caravans. But I'm accepting that the warriors are toast. So my goal at this point is I want to back out the healers or the clerics because they're expensive. I want to keep them safe, as well as my hero. I backed the hero out all the way, but he's going to kind of be defending against this stuff, so I'm going to leave him there. What is this upgrade?
Time to move.
Silver weaponry. Oh yeah, see, I definitely want to put that on the hero. Let's see, 50. I'm going through gold though, and we still have yet to pay that witch off. So, what a pain. Like Wisdorn. Oh yeah, I renamed my capital Wisdorn. I don't know if I am totally in love with the name, but it's fine for now. I figure all our wizard stuff is there. Yeah, we're getting a lot of minus gold from some of these cities, and fixing that up a bit, I think, would be a really good idea. Fortunately, we do get a lot of conversion of food into gold, so there's that. And very few of our cities are using up food. Unfortunately, the elven cities, even when you convert them into special cities... Oh yeah. Oh goodness, I had a whole introduction to this, but basically I thought it'd be kind of neat to make the elves, they're a little bit contrary, a little bit argumentative, and when I gave them free reign to build a city, they decided to build a shrine to their moon god instead. And so, there's some tension in the neighborhood. People are a little bit upset that we have this heathen cult of lunatics, literally people who worship the moon, kind of taking over in the northeast here. I'm going to build like a shrine to Lunord in this. It's a whole role-playing thing, so I guess you might... I forget at this point whether we already did that introduction, remember to record it, or if I forgot to do that. So that's what's going on with this. I'm not going to actually push for any kind of like actual... I'm not going to push like for Lunord stuff. It's just a little bit of flavor. I kind of like the idea of this cult of moon worshippers kind of taking over this region, and maybe they're bullies. Maybe they kind of bully Vaendrin a bit, or there's some tension at least between the two. It looks like they've already responded to it by building a shrine to Agrila here, because they're getting nervous. They don't know about this moon cult, so there's some tension in the air. there's some obvious issues that need to be kind of resolved. So anyway, just a silly thing. I destroyed the free town and I put in an altar because when I did the Lunord thing, just for some flavor, it actually really hurt our relationship with Agrila, and so we couldn't cast some spells. So that's kind of compensate for that. Other than that, the war against these guys. I mean, we've lost a bunch of units. I think it's still feasible that we can take Bludos. I ended up building this thing here just to add some extra attack so that we could deal with some of the shenanigans going on with this guy. Kind of my goal is if I can take Bludos and maybe even like if I can take Giebelling Cliff too, that's a crippling blow, and I'll be able to hold this region indefinitely. I might even convert this into something like a shrine to Agrila, just to like really ram it home that hey, you know, all your base are belong to us. But I don't know. Like I'm half tempted to actually start pulling away and pulling out, because if I had these guys, I could continue the push on. Let's continue attack. I think he's out of range of that. Good. Yeah, I'm half tempted to actually start pulling them away. I'll pummel them a little bit more, see how it goes. But moving them to, if we could get these guys helping out on the Dramer world, we can make a lot of progress on that. Oh, another thing about the Dramer world. So, yeah, that's a holy site right there. So we definitely want to build a city, possibly like around here, and then have, you know, once it grows a little bit, we'll have a holy shrine. We'll also have, I forget though. Let's see. You can build. Okay, so maybe we also want to consider the idea like of looking down here to see if they have, because there might be a good resource like in here, and then we could build it closer to the holy shrine. I don't know, like or even something here, because if it grows, it will have some defense over this portal. We're still trying to get the portal open, and that's the whole curse thing. Like, and we'll just have to continually try that until we unlock it. I could pay to get through it, but I don't want to. There's another portal down here that we actually attempted to open, and it had a trap on it, which releases fire elemental. Fire elementals I'm not too concerned with. I have wizards. Wizards can handle elementals pretty handedly, so I think we're good on that. Let's see. Oh, we've got clean the land, so that's good. Let's see. I'm kind of like getting hung up on what to go for next, to be honest. Let's see. So we've unlocked. It's tempting to go for prosperity, which I will do actually. So just growing our cities even more. Speaking of city growth, let's get going on some more blessings of fertility in life, because I really want to grow this region, and I've been neglecting enchanting spells. So that's something I need to take care of, and that'll really help all these guys grow, you know, big and strong. So. Like definitely Karaturn. Karaturn is not doing well on food, and I don't really know why. I guess it is a bigger city, and it could probably use another farm or two. We'll have to deal with that, because that's not a good situation to be in. So, and you see like its growth is almost nothing. So I think like enchanting this should be our next target. Even though they've been uppity, even though they've kind of been messing with us a bit, but it's all good. And actually, like, no matter who you worship, a god, like a shrine city, it gets you like 1 mana per every population. So growing this city out will really build up our mana, which will be nice. So something to keep in mind. Anyway, moving right along. Yeah, see, Ice Lake should be able to hold their own almost indefinitely. It's really hard to take strongholds. Okay. I expected there'd be a bit of punishment coming our way. Oh, they got the flyers too. Yeesh. Yeah, we definitely like flying Dweemers are really really nasty. I mean, they got this monster breath that does death magic. I mean, they're flying, which is always shell of a flying monster. So they've got missile and elemental. They're almost based off like Godzilla kaiju's, I think. You know, like they kind of remind me of them. So let's see. Yeah, and they also get this like extra damage, and I don't know. It'd be interesting to discover if we can actually build Dreamers. I don't think you can. I'm also kind of surprised that in the expansion they didn't make this like a race that you could play as. Instead, they went for something completely new and different. But maybe that's okay. I'm kind of curious about the expansion. I'm still hopeful to play it. At the same time, I put the series out, and we have almost, I think, we have one view. I don't think the playlist is really making people interested. So I'm definitely gonna finish this playthrough. I might have to like kind of think about if I want to continue to do more. I enjoy the game. I'd like to keep playing it, but it's kind of rough when you're putting out content and like no one's interested. So it's a shame. I think this game in general, it's really underrated, and I wish I'd gotten a little bit more love from the community, but I think it came out at an awkward time. Like, it came out close to when Civ 5 was coming out, so it's like, oh, I only have enough money for one 4X game, but I'm going to pick the, I don't want that one. Let's see, I want to put these blessings on, like, our larger cities, so let's arrange them by population. So Vaendrin has Blessing of Life, but not Fertility. Let's get Fertility on Vaendrin. And then let's also start, basically these 4 cities I'm going to fill out with all the enchantments. And then maybe I'll start, devoting some more attention to the lower level ones. So, but first thing first, let's get Vaendrin going, because Vaendrin, I almost want to be like that might end up being our new capital. Like, once we fix up the terrain a bit, get it back to, like, being lands of life and all that, I think it's going to do quite well. And it has a lot of these, like, wide open plains and stuff it can use. It's going to take some time to repair, unfortunately, but we will. Especially now that we have the Lands of Life spell, I can honestly, like, just cast it here and get, like, a bunch of them at once. And then, like, maybe do, like, little touch of cleanup here and here, etc. So, oh yeah, and I'm building rogues guilds to kind of get ahead on the mana situation. Well, one reason I like this city so much, right? I mean, we're producing a ton of food, a ton of mana, and a ton of gold. It's like the perfectly balanced city. So it might also be a good candidate for actually casting lower terrain on a couple of the mountains. Not all of them. I like to keep some mountainous terrain because I think it looks really nice, but I might lower, say, that one and, like, that one. Just to get more land that they can build on. We'll see how it goes. So, so Vaendrin is going to be our target for this blessing. Awesome. And, yeah, now it's going to really grow fast. See, look at the boost it did already, so that's encouraging. I want Vaendrin to be huge. And honestly, I might move my capital here at some point. For multiple reasons. I like the idea of our capital city being on really good solid terrain, because I believe the capital building, let's go to Almero and check it out. It like boosts almost everything. Where is it? Oh, that's the build, like, show all buildings. No. Capital, yeah, it gets +5 across the board. And if we have a city that is, basically guaranteed to have, like, almost every type of building, like, I want a magic bazaar, I want, like, all the bank buildings, I want all the food buildings, a really well-rounded city, that's where you want your capital. The city is, I renamed it Wisdorn because I'm kind of thinking this is going to be the city. It's going to have some food and be quite large, but for the most part, it's going to be our wizard city. It's where we're going to be making mages and clerics and all that goodness. And I'd also like to maybe get some shrines going and all that jazz. So I'd also like to build a couple of magic towers. Not many, like maybe like one or two, just for defending this area. And I'm going to stop having a garrison here. I'm going to just rely on either fortresses or magic towers to handle any kind of incursions. So that's kind of my plan going forward for the city that, you know, the city formerly known as Deepwood. Let's see, enemy at the gate. Oh yeah, he's at, and yeah, see, he's getting wrecked now by the ice lake. Now, do I want to? I'm tempted to actually just pull back.
Yes?
Because I'm barely doing any damage to Stronghold. I'm not all that interested in conquering this land. I just want them to stop attacking me, and I think with Ice Lake healthy and secure, that will happen. So, I'm going to do that. I'll probably regret later, but I want to get these guys kind of ready for our renewed assault on the Draven world, because this is kind of holding us back now. It's keeping us from exploring new terrain. It's you know, it's not all that good of a situation. Let's see. I'm tempted to let the catapult finish him off, but the catapult's already really damaged, and I don't want it to get destroyed. So I'm gonna go ahead and send it out this way, and that way it will start to heal because it's on the living planes, and it'll be, you know, just in a better position. Now my mage,
They are doomed.
I almost need to leave a tough unit here to kind of hold it indefinitely. Basically, if I have a guy here, they can't enter the portal, so they're always going to be stuck. A good unit for that would actually be a warrior, because for the warrior, you know, he can just kind of like fortify and they can take quite a bit of damage. I'm not interested in dealing out damage. I just need like a big wall of meat here, you know, a big beefcake to kind of like get in their way. And I don't want to be an expensive good unit, because that has other problems. That will basically be a drain on our coffers.